After 6 years of playing and streaming Dead by Daylight, I've seen a lot of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Developed by Behavior Interactive and released in 2016, there honestly hasn't been any other game like it. But that's not to say that there hasn't been any imitation, such as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and that fucking awful Friday the 13th game. So grab your flashlight, toolbox, or even your weapon of choice and let's get into this thing. So I'm not going to dive too deep into the lore because that would take hours for each killer and survivor, but they're all in the fog for a reason. Reasons such as murder, greed, addictions, recreations, and even religious beliefs. The entity, which is a malevolent being, has pulled these people and creatures into the fog to participate in a never-ending cycle of trials. When a survivor is killed, the entity resurrects them at the campfire and wipes their memory to suffer through the horrors again and again. There are a lot of fan theories regarding a lot of the killers and survivors that are in the fog, but we are going to skip over them as Behavior has never confirmed or denied a lot of them. Once you have picked your killer or survivor, you will pick out 4 out of the hundreds of perks that are in the game. I'm not going to go through all of them because I'm pretty sure that will take me several hours to get through them, but before I go any further, I will mention that there is a wide selection of original killers and survivors, such as Huntress, David, Trapper, Deathslinger, Meg, Nia, Wraith, and Nurse, just to name a few, and even some licensed killers and survivors such as Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, Pyramid Head and Cheryl, Nemesis and Ada Wong, Leon Kennedy, Wesker, Claire Redfield, just to name a few of them. A lot of the survivor perks will allow you to do generators, heal, and run faster, cover your tracks, craft flashbangs, jump scaring a killer when you fast vault out of a locker or even a window, just to name a few. A lot of the killer perks will make generators lose their progression whether a survivor is on them or not. Some perks will even allow you to see survivors' locations, block windows and vault locations, and even become undetectable. Let's start off with the survivor side of things. Once you load into a game, you'll be paired up with 3 other survivors. The 4 of you need to complete 5 generators to power up the exit gate so you can escape. But while doing this, you need to try and avoid the killer and get as few hook states as possible. You get 2 hook states, and on the 3rd, you're dead, and the entity will take you and you'll no longer be able to participate in the game. While trying to complete 5 generators, the killer is not only after you, but the others in the lobby as well, and it's their job to do whatever is necessary to stop the progression of gens. In the fog, the survivors' items to defend themselves are pallets and windows to get as far away from the killer as possible. Survivors can bring tools into the game as well, such as medkits, toolboxes, and flashlights, and there are chests scattered around the map, and they will contain a random item. If you do decide to bring your own tool, there'll be 2 add-on slots for it as well, and each tool has different unique add-ons. So for instance, if you have a medkit, you'll be able to add a certain add-on to make it last longer and maybe even heal faster. And with toolboxes, you can also add add-ons that'll make you do generators faster or sabotage hooks faster. And even with flashlights, some of the add-ons can give you better accuracy when blinding a killer or even make the battery last longer. Once all 5 generators are done, 2 exit gates will be powered. There are no more than 2 exit gates on the map, and they can either be very close or very far apart from each other. It takes about 20 seconds to open the exit gate, which gives the killer plenty of time to find you and get that final kill or even multiple kills. Once you escape, you'll be rewarded with blood points, which can be used to level up or prestige your character. And even when you die, you still get rewarded with blood points, but it is very minimal. Now, if you pick Killer, you'll pick out 4 perks as well, but you'll also pick 2 add-ons to bring into the game. Each killer has different add-ons for their powers, and that's a whole thing in itself, so make sure you read what each add-on does and pick what works for you. Like I said before, it is your job to stop as many generators as possible and kill all the survivors for you to win the game. It takes 2 hits to down a survivor, hook a survivor 3 times to eliminate them from the game. After that, the killed survivor really has 2 choices. Either watch you attempt to kill everyone in the lobby, or just move on and find the next game. While chasing after survivors, be mindful of pallets, flashlights, and even sabotage hooks, because either one of them can set you back immensely. If you down a survivor, it is your job to pick them up and carry them to a hook. Being mindful of other survivors around you as they can blind you or even follow you to the hook and sabotage it. If a survivor blinds you while you're carrying a survivor, you'll drop that survivor. And if you don't get to a hook fast enough, they can actually wriggle out. If a generator gets finished, you'll hear a loud ping and it will give you the location. And trust me, 2 or even 3 survivors working on one gen, it'll pop very fast. Again, your job is to stop the survivors from doing generators and kill them as fast as possible. If there is 1 survivor left and there's still generators to be done, an escape hatch will spawn. The survivor can still do the gens when it spawns, but the best bet for the both of you is to find the hatch. If a killer finds the hatch, they'll be able to close it, and then the survivor will be forced to open the exit gates, even if the generators are not finished. But you can choose to not close the hatch on the survivor. You can just go find them and attempt to kill them, but I highly recommend you actually try and close the hatch. Depending on how well you did, you'll be rewarded with blood points so you can level up and or prestige your killer as well. How much will depend on how well you did in the game. Blood points are the free in-game currency that you get for playing the game, and you can spend those blood points in the Blood Web. In the Blood Web, there is a whole bunch of items and even offerings, along with add-ons as well. And if you don't have all your survivors or killers to Prestige 3, they'll even have their perks in there. Completing one section of the Blood Web equals 1 level, and completing 50 will give you a Prestige. But I have to be honest, Prestiging doesn't really do anything. More or less just shows how much you play of said character. And yes, I know when you hit a certain Prestige, you get a player card of the killer or survivor, depending on who you are. And Prestige 100 is the max for both killer and survivor. Speaking of which, it is best to get your killers and survivors to Prestige 3, as once you get them to Prestige 3, all of those perks will spread across all of your killers and survivors, which also means you end up spending less in the Blood Web, if that makes any kind of sense. So do keep that in mind. Every now and again, behavior will throw a spanner in the works and give us a limited time game mode. The most popular by far is 2v8, which is 8 survivors and 2 killers. It is very much like the regular game mode, but the survivors and killers have their own set build, so you're not able to pick and choose your perks. Chaos Shuffle, which is the same as the regular game mode, but each killer and survivor's perks will be randomly selected. The only thing you can choose is to bring your own tools and add-ons. And Lights Out, where the entire map is darkened and the only way for you to be able to see is by holding a candle, which will be given to you at the start of the game. There is no terror radius, no HUD, and no perks. It's just pure skill and horror. Now, this section of the video is probably going to be the part that pisses people off, and I don't think I would be doing the review any justice without going through the ins and outs of the DVD community, and how entitled some players can be when it comes to this game, along with some of the unwritten rules. For starters, there is no shortage of people complaining on Twitter about this game, and if they're not complaining on Twitter, they're complaining in the endgame chat, whether they win or lose. As for the unwritten rules, I would argue that survivor mains are probably the worst when it comes to this. Tunneling is a big thing in Dead by Daylight, which is when a killer goes after one survivor over and over again just to get them out of the game as quickly as possible. This could be down to a certain survivor being a pain in the ass or a good player, even a toxic little shit by teabagging and emoting in front of the killer. But man, if you tunnel someone, even if it's necessary, like all the generators have been done and you need to secure at least 1 kill, be prepared for a lot of heat in the endgame chat. But in saying that, there are killers that will just do that for the sake of it, or because a survivor is a certain character or has a certain cosmetic on. And some of them take it a step further. When they down a survivor, they'll start humping them while they're on the ground bleeding out. Which, I have to be honest, to the survivor's defense, that is the most bitch-made fucking move a killer could do. He ain't lying. There is always a complaint within the community whether this game is survivor or killer-sided, which I personally think is also a stupid fucking argument when it comes to this game. Not everyone, but I think a lot of people that do play this game take it a little bit too seriously. I understand this game is competitive, but guys, come on now. Which brings me to my next complaint. It seems that Behavior don't really know what they want their game to be. Do they want this game to be a party game or a competitive one? Because at the moment, they lean towards the party side of gaming, and then the next minute they want to move to a competitive style. And I ain't saying that party games can't be competitive, because they 100% can be. But if there's no competitive game mode, then why the fuck do we have a ranking system in this game? I mean, sure, the rank resets every month, and then you have to grind your way back up to Iridescent 1. Because by the time you've reached Iridescent 1, you've already earned well over 1 million blood points. And then when the rank resets, all you get is 1 million blood points. But that is only if you hit Iridescent 1. It varies depending on what rank you finished at. Not only that, people have been asking for a comp game mode for years. As at the time of recording this and what I can find, I don't think Behavior have any plans to bring a competitive mode to the game right now. And if that is the case, then maybe the ranking system should go. I don't know, man. Am I crazy for thinking this? You let me know. I will leave yous all with this. Regardless of the bullshit drama and shit behavior this game brings out in some people, this game is still insanely fun. For a game that's been going on for 10 years and is still bringing brand new players, is almost unheard of with games of today. I'd personally say this game is more fun with friends, but you can still have a blast with solo queuing. And this game is dirt cheap as well. It can be picked up on major platforms such as Steam, Epic Games, PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox for just under 30 Australian dollars. And in my opinion, is worth every penny. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the fog.